Greetings, this is Fred in Alaska. Sorry. Um, there's background stuff that I'm working on. Today is just a short share. But I have this one share I want to do. That's gonna take time. So anyone who likes short videos, when that one comes out, you might as well bypass it. It's excellent. It takes place over the course of 10 years, and three of these creatures being killed during that period. Um, it very it should be a book or a movie, man. It's pretty insane. Um, so that being said, I'm working on that, and I'm taking notes, and I'm just going over it and over it. So when I do share it, it's very smooth and coherent, and I'm not bouncing back and forth. So what I do want to share is there's a whole lot of people that see things in passing, especially on boats coming up to Alaska, along Alaska, or a lot in the southeast as well. Like, in the comments, people are telling me, there's a family of them on the beach going through False Pass and all these other things. That knowledge isn't new to me, but it probably is to a lot of people. Just all over the place. Baranoff Island, St. Michael Island. There's literally, we can point out a spot, and I'd be surprised if there isn't some story related to a scream, a weird noise, or otherwise, right? Well, like for example, Joe. Joe was in Wrangell St. Elias National Park, right? They were by the Root Glacier. They've been doing some work or whatever. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not going word for word. Forgive me, Joe. It's nothing personal. It's just how I express things. So they were taking his old Toyota up this old path, four-wheeler trail basically, and they're bobbing along, and he notices what he thought was a Bigfoot head over on this little knoll. Now they're in a glacier area, right? That's just scrub brush, not very big. So him and his buddy, they run over, they check it out, and they're talking to each other about it or whatever. And a little bit later, they end up seeing one roughly 75 yards away, running through these glacier boulders. Anyone who's been there, these things are like small to big to massive, and for this thing to just smoothly disappear into the woods in a heartbeat, the coordination is off the chain. Off the chain. All those parkour runners got shit. These things, every day is parkour for them. So, he had that happen, and then not long after that, he was camping in an SUV style vehicle, and where he happened to be wasn't too far from another area. And as he was going to sleep, he heard imitations of ravens, he heard imitations of owls, but horrible ones, just obviously not what they were mimicking. And so this happens, and it's only from one area at first, and then across the valley it lights up over there on another mountain. So he's literally in his SUV listening to this goulash of sound that went from one thing to another to at one point it was like hysterical laughing coming, and Joe's sitting there like laughing to himself like, wow, the mind fuck that happens is, and who do you tell that to? Like, unless they were there with you, who do you go say, hey, I was in my SUV, I heard a raven, a crow, and an owl, and da da da, and then they laughed. Well, you're gonna get laughed at. So someone's gonna mock you, and that's unfortunate. And once things started getting closer, Joe, smart guy, fired up, got the fuck out of Dodge. You don't. I have a hard time with experiences from the lower 48, and I believe them. I just have a hard time with the gifting. I feel it's a setup. I know people who do it, and nothing's happened. And I pray nothing does, but something is off with that for me. And Alaska's different, so I can't even. I'll leave that alone because I can't speak to that because I haven't seen it. Here in Alaska, we don't have They're not coming sharing berries with us. They steal shit. They're vindictive. They kill your fucking dog, and they prey on your fear. Not my friend. I can't. That's not friendly to me. I get a bunch of short, small emails, wanting to remain anonymous, but there's screams and different types of howls that are ungodly, unnatural sounding from one end of the state to the other. Literally. There's breaks in between, because there's not towns there to report this shit. And even these things that are being reported to me, you're not going to find them on BFRO. You're not going to find them in the local paper because no one's talking about it. I'm thankful that people are willing to share here, their Alaskan thing with me. I appreciate that. That shows a level of trust because I know how hard it is to come forward. And sincerely, I recognize that, and I don't give up anyone's name that don't want it. And those private emails that they just they allow me to share, but they don't want any mention of their real name or anything. Once I get those emails memorized, I erase them. I don't keep a record of that. I don't. If someone asks me not to share something and just they want to share it with me, not record a video about it, that's what I do. I share it with them. If they leave a number, I call them. I've called several people that left me an email with their number. And a portion of them ain't even in the state. They just have some personal questions or whatever, or some fears. Maybe a relative may have gone through something and ask me what I might be able to do to lend some advice to that or what have you. It's not easy to come forward with stuff. I have a proverbial stack of those experiences that they don't want on video for certain reasons, because of location for one, and they were uncomfortable at the thought of me not using location, just keeping it very generalized. They were still very standoffish about that. So I respected it. Short conversation about what happened. Erase the email. I'm not here to mock anyone. I'm sure as hell ain't gonna prove shit to anybody. That's not gonna happen. I hope to get evidentiary footage when I go up to Nuyakuk, but that's not. I already know they exist. I don't need to have a cast mold of a footprint. Don't need it. For what? I go up the Nuyakuk River. Go up the Nushkak or go up the Mulchatna River. Walk a sandbar. See what you see on there. So, things of that nature, don't be silly. If you can't accept evidence that's already out there, whatever evidence I may have, you're not going to accept that either. And for a lot of people, it's going to take a dead one in front of them or one in a cage that's obviously alive and not a guy in a suit. I respect that. Skepticism's good. It's healthy. My only purpose is to make you aware of things that are happening. Accept them or not. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and go, and this is no one's name in general, but I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, Frank, you got to believe me, man. Look at all these people. Bullshit. I don't give a fuck what Frank thinks. I don't. I'm speaking in generalizations here. I'm not naming anybody or tossing anyone under the bus. I'm just speaking in general. Frank was a make-believe name. If someone named Frank is watching this, bro, I swear I'm not calling you out. So just be aware there's people that suffer with this shit and don't ever share it. Not ever. They just don't. I wish to thank all the new subscribers. Sincerely. Things are moving forward. They're just a little slower. Logistics are a bitch in Alaska. I got to do that thing with the out-of-town crew here in the next couple days. I think they're visiting my cousin today. And her experience, holy shit. You know, to have these things mimicking a baby to lure them out. They've mimicked dogs to lure people out. You know, they've mimicked so many different things to lure people out. You know, what's with the barriers? What, you know, there's something else going on we don't understand. I know of one guy that dealt with them behind the mining camp offices, and it was like a big magnet moving behind their computer screens and stuff, where they had their little media center set up with the Wi-Fi and whatnot. What does that? You know, what causes that? Why is some of them so pitch black they absorb the light? I don't know. Anyway, this is a short video. Just wanted to say a few things. I got some background stuff going. Special thanks to Rachel Sandwick, Alejandro, I ain't forgot you, buddy. Miguel, Sasquatch Theory, D.A. Roberts, great guys. And you guys be safe out there. Like I said, the next share I'm gonna do is what you might consider epic. It's a historical one through an oral tradition of an elder. You're not gonna find it in a book unless I write a book. You know, so those things being said, be safe out there. Anyone wanting to share their experience, AlaskaHairymanProject@gmail.com or nocomp907@gmail.com. I'm not a hard guy to get a hold of. So, that being said, everyone be safe. And realistically, a little later on today, there will be another video upload. So keep your eyes out for that. It won't be the long epic one, but there was a couple other ones that I wanted to get to, because I'm going to be filming soon. Because of the distance and delays, I decided I'm going to go on and do a documentary by the North Fork of the Golcana. I've shared 3 or 4 encounters from that area over the course of the last 15 years. These things have happened, so it's a good place that I can easily reach without it being overly expensive, and I'm just going to film that, and just for something to do to kill time, because the main project happens a little later in the fall. So until then, you guys have a good day.